Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Uncut. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this, my second channel, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with all the Flat Earth Debate, Uncut and after show goodness. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they premiere, and there's also a PayPal and crypto link in the info box below this video. Now, we are currently joined by Ranty Flat Earth, who's going to have some extremely exciting news to tell us about once I can get his attention. So let's get a hello from... Hello, Ranty.
Hello, you alright?
Yeah, I've got your pictures. Sweet.
Ace, aren't they?
Yeah, they are ace. Very, very good. Did you do a composite?
I haven't yet, no. I'm just working on trying to see how much of North Barul we're actually seeing.
Okay. What you mean when you say how much of it?
Well, I know we're seeing essentially all of it, but I want to be... let me share my screen. See, what I've done here is... I don't know whether my eyes are failing me, but it looks to me like there is land, sliver of land.
Yeah, there is.
Along the back there.
Yeah.
It does look like that to me. Well, and that matches up with it. You know this compression zone that we talk about? And it looks like it's all just been compressed to hell in that little fraction there. So this flat part here looks like it is there, but it's just been compressed out because the rest of it all matches up perfectly. You know?
It's epic,
I mean,
mate.
that's the top
Epic.
of it.
It's obviously there. You can see it.
It looks like it's there to me. That looks like it's land, but it's a sliver. And we know what happens in that very narrow zone, don't we?
Well, exactly. It's going to get, it's going to be very heavily condensed. But, what Peak Finder says you should see from a squillion miles in the air is basically what you're getting from a couple of 100 meters up.
Well, that's what I've had to do. I've had to put 200 meters on top of my height to get this. So that's how it's worked out.
In Peak Finder?
In Peak Finder, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe my ears. I think it was GeoStreamer that originally revealed that to Anthony. It was like, well, how do you match them up with Peak Finder? It's like, well, you just go to Peak Finder, because all of us were unfamiliar, whatever it was, a year ago. And then he basically said, oh, yeah, I just raised my elevation. And Anthony was like, well, doesn't that ring alarm bells? No. It's like, well, according to Peak Finder, you shouldn't see any of this. But you're just raising up the elevation and then matching it, doing your little blink test. It's like, you're completely ignoring the fact that it doesn't match.
Yeah, well, it's GeoStreamer and he's dishonest.
There you go. Anyway, not that any of this matters in respect to what they say you should see at a given altitude, because it's a complete misrepresentation if you take it in feet and inches. Like we've just discussed, you're ultimately talking about the angle of view to this stuff at the very bottom. And yeah, it's very squashed. It's there, but very squashed.
Yeah, it looks like it's there. I mean, I'm not seeing that, am I? I'm not making it up. It's there, isn't it?
Well, I've got a massive screen and it's clear as day to me, mate.
Right, okay. So, yeah, so we know it's there. I can't wait to go again when the weather's a little bit better, because there is, that mountain behind it is substantially higher. It's 3 miles further away, but it's twice the height. And there's some observations that I can do for there. For instance, I shouldn't be able to see Douglas, because it should be 600 feet beyond the curve. So if I can go another 200 meters higher than this and see Douglas, I should even be able to see Ireland from that height.
I can't wait to see the pictures you showed me earlier on my big screen. Obviously, it's just little cutouts that you're doing comparisons with at the minute, but I've not loaded them. I'm looking at them on Skype now, but they're on my little monitor, and when it goes out live, I'll put them up for the first time, so I can have a proper natural reaction to them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's ace, aren't they? They are ace. I've got rid of that watermark as well, that horrible watermark that was activate Windows or something. was in the bottom right here, and it was annoying me. Figured out how to do it. Do you want this, or shall I just save this for myself? Because I've sent you a series of images that are probably better looking than these, to be fair.
I mean, it's useful to have. It's just work. It's just you're just working basically, aren't you? I mean, this isn't presentable stuff. It's just you doing. Sorry, my kid's going nuts.
Yeah, it's just me doing what we normally do, just going through everything and formulating the heights and the stuff. Like I say, I need to know what that is there. So hang on, try and find this on Google Earth and get a direct.
That was really beautiful stuff to look at, Ranty. Your video, the short one you put, I think it was today, with the fresh mind, just woke up and just looking at it and letting myself go. Really good stuff. Thank you, man.
Did you like the last clip, the last video?
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. Really relaxing, just to look at, just panning to the side, and you see what the turbines at the island, the Isle of Man in the background. Beautiful to look at, man.
It's awesome, isn't it? I love it. I love it. Right, which one am I looking at here? So which turbine is it? So hang on, let me get this right.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live, and there's also a PayPal and crypto link in the info box below this video. But most importantly, if you would like to join the discussion, simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now we are joined by Flatten Earth, Jose, JG, Soundly Slayer Gonzalez, Ranty Flat Earth, and Chocolate Saying. Good to have you all.
Good day,
good day.
Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. Boom.
Hello.
Hello,
Yeah.
Eleanor. Hello.
Okie dokie then. So, any signs of curvature, gentlemen?
Afraid not.
No, I gotta review a bunch of footage. I say no right now. I gotta review a bunch of footage I have. I was doing different heights observations, and through the viewfinder, it seemed to be a lot of more obstruction the lower observation I go. But I had to review it well in my big screen and do some comparisons. It was a lot of mirroring and inferior mirages going on. Yeah, I'm gonna review the footage and upload it in the next couple of days.
Yeah, I liked your boat footage. It's a bit
Hello.
not quite as dramatic as Ranty's when it went in front rather than behind, but still very impressive.
Ooh.
Yeah, it was just a small boat, but when it goes in front of it, it almost disappears. You know, it's just like this little blur going in front of it. You know, it's a solid object, but just going along in that band of mirage is really tricky. The effect that takes place down there.
So, any signs of axial rotation of the Earth-based variety?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Not at all.
Any evidence that you can have a gas pressure without a container?
Nope. Never.
Any scientific evidence of gravity?
Nope.
No.
Only the aberration.
Right. Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
No.
That's an iron core.
But you can't say that backwards.
They say it to kids, so you know this is the crap that gets taught to children. Teach to children, taught to children.
Just reverse play it. You already in your room. That I don't know how it's gonna sound.
So no evidence of the molten iron core. Okay, what about the R value, the presuppositional R value? Earth radius, gentlemen. Any signs of R?
No R.
It exists in math. I
Nope.
I talked about it a little bit on the early bird yesterday. I think that the R value is basically a substitute for a lack of knowledge of the entire confine. You're begging the question of R because they have no certainty, they have no direct proof that it's actually the case. So the R will always be there as long as they don't have conclusive geometrical evidence of the shape of the Earth being that ball. That's not going to happen.
You know, was the first to point that out. I think it was well over 18 months ago. It was Validation Boy. So he made a little, maybe 2 or 3 minute video, and he basically, the gist of the video was every single evidence of the globe will start with the presupposition that you are on a globe. So it was him that, Validation Boy, that spotted that long before I did.
Yes.
So what about the distance to the sun? Any evidence of that?
No.
No distance.
That's pretty much it then. That
No.
wraps up the housekeeping. If there's no evidence of the distance to the sun, we're still working on assumptions about its physicality and its distance. Okie dokie. So, right, I'm glad we've got that out of the way reasonably quickly, because Ranty went out yesterday after the show finished and captured some absolutely glorious imagery, and I'm hoping he's just going to get straight
Hooray.
into showing it to us.
Woody.
Are you going to show any of the images that I sent to you, or do you just want me to
No,
show
you bring them up.
video,
You have
or-
the you do the honours on Rantony. I keep doing it. Keep calling you Rantony.
Ranty. Oh, why have you called
You
me
do the honours,
Ranty?
Ranty.
Because you guys are an item, apparently.
Really?
I guess.
Who?
Right,
Anti
okay.
and Ranty.
Yeah.
Who says that?
Are they like a Japanese
Well, that's
fantasy gay relation? That kind of thing?
well, that's like you would say
What's it called again?
Brangelina, right? And they're a couple.
Okay. Both Anthony and Ranty have got better halves. I'm sure both of them aren't beards, but let's move on.
I don't mind a beard.
Right, hang on then. Just give me a couple of seconds to get something.
So I'm not going to have
something
that
up.
in case I snip this out. So Ranty's got some absolutely... Let's pause. Ranty's got some absolutely glorious footage of the Isle of Man, haven't you, Ranty?
I have, yes.
Excellent.
I shall share my screen with you guys now. You can see what I'm seeing.
So this is hot off the presses, and I'm gonna, before I put gotta stop doing it. Before I put Ranty's screen on, I'm gonna say to the audience, be prepared, because this is about as good as it gets, and I'm not just saying that. This is sensational. So maybe you can give it a bit of build up as well before I put your screen on, Ranty. So tell us what you're going to show us before I show them.
Well, I'm going to show you some of the flat Earth, and I'm going to show you some stuff that doesn't conform to the ball Earth. And it's up to you guys to make your mind up whether what you're seeing is a looming figment of my imagination, or whether it is actually just a beautiful scene of a distant mountain range some 80 miles away.
So let's nip that in the bud straight away. We are definitely seeing what you're about to see, that's for sure. But the key detail is 80 miles. So, right, I'm going to stick your screen on. Right, you're on.
Okay, so Yeah, I mean, I just started messing around with the settings a little bit, and I found this little nugget of a setting, and voila! I'll just play the video for a little bit, and you can see these straight
Infrared?
lines, Nathan. Look at these straight lines. Looks like infrared, doesn't it?
Is it infrared? This?
No.
It's not, but it looks like it, doesn't it? Look how straight these lines are. This is water that we're looking across. There we have the turbines in the foreground that aren't cresting the waves, obviously. Here we have the Isle of Man in the background. You can only see 1,000 feet of it. And it was really cold when I took this imagery. The most important thing I want you guys to focus on is this mountain range here, which is called Greba Mountain. It shouldn't be seen. Shouldn't be seen at all. The curve calcs say that that has gone beyond Earth curve.
I'm just going to do this every time. I'm sorry, Ranty. Ranty is currently talking to ball-believing religious zealots when he says this shouldn't be seen. So this shouldn't be seen according to a begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking curve calculator, and a worldview that dictates your world is a sphere. Now, I don't live in that world, and as far as I'm concerned, we just see this stuff, and there's no other explanation whatsoever required about what should or shouldn't be seen. We just see it. But for those who are watching that are religiotards, ball believers, and think you need to refer to a calculator to decide what you can and can't see, well then Ranty's words should ring true, as according to the begging the question, proof of nothing, perspective hijacking curve calculator, the mountain that Ranty's going to wave his mouse over right now. Go ahead, Ranty. Here we go.
Just
Timing.
coming up to it now. There
About
we go.
here.
Behind this building. So
There we go.
there we
It's
go.
in line with this, whatever you call it, oil platform.
Yeah.
According to their
Everything that's
maths,
behind this oil
that should be
platform.
gone. Again, about 1,000 foot of Earth curve should be obscuring our view of this stuff. Now, again, that's only if you want to take the word of a perspective hijacking, proof of nothing, begging the question curve calculator. We just see it. There's no explanation needed. We just see it. And the Earth is obviously and observably flat. But if you want to start fiddling around with maths and telling us about your reification fallacy, then yeah. This is about as bad as it gets for your reification fallacy, because it simply doesn't work.
I've got a couple of images
just
there
one more
as well.
thing, for people who don't know what I'm talking about when I say reification fallacy, I mean the globe model.
This has been captured 2 days on the trot, so I went the day before yesterday and I went yesterday, and it's exactly the same. There's nothing higher than it was the day before, nothing lower. The temperature was, you know, give or take the same. You know, it was around about 2 degrees. Not really the temperatures for refraction, because it's supposed to be warm air across a cold ocean for that kind of refraction to take place. Unfortunately, the weather wasn't good for refraction, so just looks like we see what we see. See it because it's there. Get a couple of these images up for you. So this was Kronk NY Ari La. The distance to this particular mountain here was 82.2 miles, and its height was only 1,453 feet. Should be gone, shouldn't see it. Here we've got South Barul. In the south part of the island, there's the other one that I was talking about before. You know, shouldn't see these. Look at this for an image though, Nathan. Look how the turbines are just heading straight up, not sinking at all.
But shockingly, the much bigger mountain that's much further away appears smaller than the turbines. Isn't that crazy? I mean, you would imagine, given that it's, what, 1,300 feet, that it would always be 1,300 feet. Shame that that actual information is pretty meaningless when you're taking into account relative sizes, which would involve taking into account the angles of things. But of course you'll ignore that, you globeheads that like to take heed when Ranty says we shouldn't see this, because you'll worry about whether or not it should be fudgeable with the maths, as opposed to just looking at the thing and going, there it is, isn't that beautiful? Not the wind turbines, they're less than beautiful, although useful to demonstrate perspective.
It makes you wonder why they stuck all these wind turbines with lights on in front of the Isle of Man at the nearest place to Britain, well, to England. Makes you wonder why they did that.
I'm not saying anything. You keep your conspiracies to yourself.
I'll be a conspiracy.
Isn't that sensational? Absolutely awesome.
It is. I'm going to be using this setting an awful lot more. I think you see much clearer.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got this same footage yesterday, or showed it yesterday, I should say. Obviously, you captured this yesterday and showed the other footage in the morning. But it was essentially the same, but would have required a lot more work to sort of bring out the obvious Isle of Man in the background, whereas in this setting, it's just obviously there. You know, there it is. That's the Isle of Man. There's no denying it. It's not a cloud.
In the early Flurry debate shows, in the two-digit shows, when the Isle of Man came to light, and all the Glovers went in strike and didn't want to join the show, and they ran away. Now, with this new Isle of Man observations, will they come back, or will they ask their neighbor to bury them whole in the ground because they already got their head down, stuck in the ground? You know, I don't know what they got. If anybody's going to refute this or tell us how will this work in a globe.
Well, this is the problem mountain range for them. Of anything they wouldn't want to talk about, this entire mountain range, this 1,000-foot mountain range that's behind this platform, that's an issue. It's a real issue if you live on a ball.
Yeah, I'm glad the days of going to the beach just to prove Sly Sparkay wrong are gone, and now it's back to actually trying to get some nice imagery. And because you've got a P1000, you can zoom that much further. I mean, 80 miles. You know, we were eulogising, or whatever the word is, praising the 31 miles to Mackold Lighthouse, and now you're getting 80 miles. It's just beggars belief, really.
Oh, look at all the butthurt trolls. Look at all the dislikes, Nathan.
Yeah. 80 miles from a couple of 100 metres up in the air. Amazing.
Oh, you've taken my ball away. I better slam the dislike with all my troll accounts.
Yeah, smash that dislike button. That's all you can do. Moan about it.
Oh, funny.
Love it.
But still, it's interaction. They don't realise that this will help promote the video, so it's all good. Smash the dislike button.
Well, before we move off topic, kudos again, Ranty. Absolutely glorious. Really sensational images.
No problem. No problem. I would have gone again today, but the weather is terrible. The weather is terrible. I just look at the straight lines that's on the ocean, and I'm not seeing any curve on any of those images. If you want to bring that one up that I've called Nathan
in Skype.
Yeah. Yeah, I've sent it to you on Skype. It's the one titled Nathan.
I can't see any titles. Which one is it? Just give me the number. You've sent 4 after the Hangout link I sent.
It will be the second one down. So number 2.
With all these, right? That's the one you just had up, right? With
yeah, look at that. Look at those straight lines. Where's the curve? Shouldn't it be curving there?
Yeah, it does look better resolution if I bring it up. I've got to admit. No, hopefully the audience are getting it in the same quality I am. Very cool, Ranty. Very cool. Hey, Daniel. How you
There
doing?
ain't no
Hey,
curse
Nathan,
there.
how are you?
Hello.
Oh, what's Nate? Hang on, what's Rumpus saying? Ranty, no info about the observer height and what location, and I will obtain meteorological conditions. So, regardless of what height it was, regardless of what the location was, he will still
Hold on.
stick to the meteorological conditions.
What does the meteorological conditions have to do with 7/6R or terrestrial refraction? Nothing is the answer. The arbitrary 7/6 of the begging the question radius value is what you will apply, radius loving idiot.
Unless it's a shape-shifting globe Earth.
So next time anybody starts to talk about refraction and they're a globe head, ask them that same question. What do the weather conditions have to do with 7/6R? That's terrestrial refraction, right? That's what you'll apply. Something that's bending around the radius of the Earth. That you assume.
If it is a bend, a downward bend of the Earth, how is these turbines, the further they go away, they appear to go up the hill when the observer is higher than those turbines? The turbines still appears to go up. I cannot wrap my mind around in this observation being anywhere close a globe observation.
Yeah, it's because the
Apparently
Earth is
it's
obviously and
super-looming.
observably flat, Jose, and that would be an effective perspective. Ignored when you take into consideration that the 1,300 feet, if that's what we're analysing of the mountain, is 1,300 feet whether you're next to it, a foot away, or 80 miles away. That's how their calculations work. But that would exclude perspective, of course, a natural effect that you're describing in this image.
He said super looming. This is obviously super looming. So it was super looming on 2 days. It was super looming on 2 days, Nathan.
That's nice. Yeah, that's what we would call bollocks. So again, back to the refraction point. When somebody asks you about refraction, refraction's very real. It's an effect. It does happen. That is a real thing. And we do occasionally have to deal with the negligible effects of it when we're zooming into these absolutely astronomical distances. However, that's not what we're talking about when we discuss these matters with the globe head. We're talking about their refraction, which would be called terrestrial refraction. Now, refraction is real. Terrestrial refraction is bollocks. Hey, Larry.
Oh,
Hello.
goody.
Either goodbye, because he's gonna snipe, because I seen him in the chat, like just big proponent of the globe. Do you have an explanation for this observation?
Well, what Randy said basically stands.
So the Earth is flat.
Indeed it is, Arwin.
Does that mean you're conceding? Are you having doubts?
Or before this go all over the place, I want to congratulate Arwin in his early bird shows. He's doing better and better every day. He got more viewers, and he had the holy shit show today in the show, and it was a lot of fun and entertainment. Yeah, thank you,
cool.
Arwin, for providing this early bird show.
I'll have to check it out.
Thank you, Jose. It was a pleasure.
I never get chance because I'm setting up for this show. I never get chance to watch the early bird. I know it's running. Annoying, but there we go. You're piggybacking off the back of this sort of thing, so that's fine. You know, I just don't get to watch it, which is annoying for me.
Watch it
Yeah, I
after.
think Hori was there, and I said, let me jump in and chat with Hori for a little bit. Yeah, a lot of fun we had there this morning.
Indeed.
Excellent. I'm glad you're building the momentum. It does take a lot of effort. Would you agree, Arwin? Some days you get up, even after only maybe a couple of dozen shows, and you're thinking, ah, again? Really? Or is it all still novel?
No. No, I'm not there yet. Sometimes I have a, how do you say, I'm like spiritually stiff or something. Like nothing, it doesn't want to just roll out. But yeah, after a while that it happens anyway. So no, no, it's still very enjoyable. I still look forward to it every day. And I'm having great guests. Yeah, I love that people here from the panel are popping by on a regular basis, and some new people that never been on the scene. So try out on my channel, and yeah, I love it. It's great. I like the platform. I like being the one in control. It's a great luxury to have, really. Although also a big responsibility, of course, to your audience.
Check it out. Looming
And I
is
like
being
it.
claimed to be a scientific fact by the Rumpus. Excellent.
Really?
Just from the chat, Rumpus. Give us the independent variable. Let's have a look what he puts. Let's toy with Rumpus for a bit from the chat.
I would really want to see proof of anything being loomed up from behind water.
Hold on, you don't need
And I mean,
to.
held up.
I hate cutting you off. I'm really sorry to do this to you, Ranty. I'm just going to whip you into line, though. I don't care. So you don't need to do anything. It's there, right? Let's just put it on screen. So
no, I want them to prove looming first. Before
what
they
do
even
you mean?
talk
Prove
about
looming?
it. Prove looming, yeah. Prove looming.
Oh, in the same way as I gotcha. So you're saying, in the same way we ask for a demonstration of gas pressure without a container, you're saying demonstrate anything to actually be looming before you start claiming looming.
Yes.
Right. Well, he's claiming it's a scientific fact, so he should be able to direct us to the systematic experimentation based on a hypothesis that's brought him to that conclusion. I don't need to conduct an experiment, really. Let me tell you something, Rumpus, you idiot, right? Science is based on systematic experimentation, hypothesis-driven systematic experimentation. Without an experiment, you don't have science. So you do need it. You're just a lying tosspot who's asserting your religious faith from the chat, which is fine. Before you start asking for the conditions of Ranty's observation, I do believe you've made this claim once before, so your credibility is pretty much in the dustbin given that you made this claim for Anthony's observation and have yet to provide a damn thing in your assertion for Anthony's observation. So where's that? Why are you asking for new information? Shouldn't you have a website up or something by now? Jesus, man. What's taking you so long? I mean, after all, you're not being paid a dime to do any of this stuff, so surely you should chop and get on with it. Highly motivated, right?
Almost 8 months now.
What he doesn't realise is that I already uploaded this video as part of a video that I did today, and I actually put all the GPS and data in there, so he clearly doesn't watch any of the stuff that I do.
What's it needed for?
Which is fine.
But what's it needed for? So they can tell people that we don't really see it. So just so you know, all the information being asked for is so that when this picture's presented and you see wind turbines moving up in the same way perspective would dictate, and then something much further away that's smaller than them because that's what perspective would dictate behind it. Yeah, that should be gone behind Earth curve. Now, what they will say is that this isn't really there. It's a hologram. It's a slightly looming non-standard refraction hyena hologram that's being projected up from behind the presupposed Earth curve that should be blocking it but isn't. It is the biggest load of diatribe nonsense that they will extract from a mathematical presupposition in the first place. And I say no. There's no need, people. Don't need to go through this kind of arduous nonsense just to look at a picture. There you go. Isle of Man. That's my explanation. End of my explanation, in fact. Isle of Man. There it is. We see it. End of explanation for me. For you, you need to find some numbers that you can jig around and a bit of atmospheric conditions that you can pretend to apply to the 7/6R terrestrial refraction that will bend light around the presupposed curve that isn't there, that's causing this massive problem for you. That means you need more data so that you can say that we don't really see this, it's not really there, it's actually a hologram, right? No, it's not. It's just there. We see it because the Earth is obviously and observably flat. No other explanation required. And we see this all the time, don't we, guys? I mean, we see this all the time. This isn't uncommon. This isn't a magical looming effect. It's just the Earth's flat. So he says,
Anybody,
you may not wish...
anybody on Earth can get this effect.
So,
they just have to go out there and bend their knees and get their freaking, get wet and down and dirty and find the observations like Ranty does.
See, Rumpus is in the chat saying, I don't need to explain anything. You think you don't need to explain anything? No, I don't need to explain anything when I just see something. It's a concrete noun. It's not a phenomena. There it is. It's there. I just see it. That's it. I don't need to explain anything. You do, because it doesn't match your religion. You need to do a lot of explaining. So go ahead, explain what you like, and I will assert that I don't need to do any explaining when I just look at something. There's no explanation needed. Don't need to science the shit out of anything. Just look at it. There it is. It's there. End of explanation. For you, it's a big problem, though, isn't it?
An entire mountain range.
Just a big
problem.
An
entire mountain range is there.
Big problem that needs explaining. Needs mathsing fast. What troubled lives
Rumpus
these ballers lead. Sorry, Owen, go ahead.
Rumpus is self-explanatory. He doesn't even realize it. He is super transparent. His motivations are very obvious. His methodology is transparent. And the only one he's really hiding it from properly is himself. So
it's interesting
like
that Mark Taylor's in the chat talking about
automaton,
Ireland.
Just following a program, not even knowing what it is. That's Rumpus in a nutshell.
So Mark Taylor's in the chat saying, you're going to go back to claiming that it's Ireland. Interestingly, the distance over the north end of the Isle of Man from St. Bees to Ireland is a little over 80 miles, coincidentally. Interesting. Might want to temper those words a little bit, Mark. You never know what happens in the future. But, yeah, I'll make a note.
What I find a little sad is, Ranty, nothing against you, but you have anything special. The only thing is the explorer spirit that you have, to observe and record things. Many people out there, they have P900s and P1000s, but they haven't just sitting on a freaking drawer, thrown in there without use. If everybody, instead of staying home, watching videos and, I mean, some people just stay home and don't do nothing. Go out there for 2 hours, find a spot in a shore, in a beach, in a lake, and take footage. And you will be amazed on the footage you're going to catch.
Word. Francie, you never told me where you got that picture from.
Which picture?
Your profile pic.
Oh, I can send you the image if you want. I saw it on my Rant's Flat Earth group.
Very nice. Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm just working
Hey, Lori.
on...
Lori, you still here, Lori?
Yep.
You have any of that?
Are any silent?
You have any of that glow proof or?
You really haven't
Well,
given us
we
a
can talk
response.
about the vacuum.
Awesome.
Cool.
I would love to know how that works. Proceed at your will.
So I have an experiment that you could use to create a vacuum next to a pressurized area.
Without a barrier.
Without a barrier between
really?
the pressurized area and the vacuum. Yep.
Ooh, this should be good.
So you take a magnetized gas and then put a magnet at the bottom. So the magnet just creates a natural pressure gradient, and at the top there will be as close to vacuum as you want it to be.
Oh, nice. Very close to vacuum. That's interesting, but not actually a vacuum.
And that's actually sufficient because space isn't actually full vacuum either. So that's good enough.
Really, but it is very large, right? Compared to the Earth.
Well, the size doesn't really matter.
But doesn't it really?
Yep, it doesn't.
It's the container. It's the container of all the gas, of everything that's just freely floating around. So
well, unless you assume the vacuum pulls, then it doesn't really matter, and the vacuum doesn't pull. That's not how it works.
What?
Well, obviously, because you're laughing, you just don't know what you're talking about. Go and read.
Yeah, vacuum doesn't pull. That's fascinating.
Go and read Richard Feynman's book, his lectures on physics. You will understand. What really happens is the air pressure pushes. The vacuum doesn't pull. If you don't understand that, then you don't know physics.
Right. PSI, it pushes in all direction, and it will find an equilibrium within the container. So how does a concentrated amount of gas on a planet with gravity pushing it back gradually over the distance from the planet, how is that gonna sit there with that relatively weak gravity force pushing on it, opposing the entire container of the outer space, which is admittedly a lower, much lower pressure zone? That is
again, the size of
how
the size of the outer space again doesn't matter. So the gravity just pulls.
It does.
No, why would it?
Because it's like a dilution. If you take a drop of some chemical and you put it in a liter of water, yeah, it's gonna dilute. It's gonna be in there. If you put it into a huge swimming pool or the ocean, yeah, it's gonna dilute so much. There's no traces of it. So yeah, size matters everything for how the gas is gonna spread out, how powerful that is, that inert ability of gaseous matter. It matters.
Well, so actually, if you look at it from the view of just one particle, the one particle doesn't know about how big the container is. The only thing that really matters is the pressure differential at that point. So that's the only thing that really matters.
Right. It will try to find an equilibrium. Look, the entire gradient spectrum is after the gas has filled the container, after entropy has settled. You understand that, right? So any gradient, it's not going to be there until the gas has settled in the container and entropy has taken place.
Or until the push and pull of forces on the border is in equilibrium. So basically what you would have is gravity pulling down and then the random collision of particles pushing them up towards space. So when you have an equilibrium there, then there's no problem.
No, it's a very powerful force that does that.
But it's basically random in terms of statistics, though.
Yeah, but for this to work,
it's going to expand.
You're saying that all the gas around the Earth would have to be magnetized, which is not.
That's not actually the point. It's just to demonstrate how a force can do that kind of pressure gradient.
Yeah,
Do you have
but
that
you're talking about the
demonstration? Hold on,
gradients.
sorry,
you're not
just one
talking
second,
about
Owen. Because
an
that's
Sorry, just one
actual
second, Owen.
vacuum.
Owen.
Pressure gradient.
Owen,
to
hold on. Do you have that demonstration?
Well, it's easily doable.
Sorry, I'll ask it again. Do you have that demonstration?
Why is it relevant?
I'll ask it a third time.
Well, you can ask it 100 million times. I already answered, so why are you asking
So,
me again?
do you have this
I know
so-called
you want to shout because this is
You're
the
talking
time where
over
you
me
start to
rather
shout,
than
but
answering me.
why?
You've obfuscated
Why
3
are you
times.
shouting?
Let's
Because
shut
you're not
this
answering.
asshole up. Play my clip.
.mit.edu. All right, let's try another pretty simple process. Let's just take a gas in some volume, V, and over here is going to be vacuum of equal volume, and we're going to remove the barrier. You know what's going to happen spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume once it becomes available, right? You know what's going to happen spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume once it becomes available. And we're going to remove the barrier. The gas is going to fill the available volume. Take a gas, and over here is going to be vacuum, and we're going to remove the barrier. You know what's going to happen spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume, fill the available volume, fill the available volume, fill.
Yeah, in your magnetized gas situation, you're not creating a vacuum.
But it's as close to vacuum as we want it to be.
No, it's
and
not.
actually, that's why. Can you actually back
Because
up
there's
that,
still
that
gas
claim with
pressure. There's
something?
no vacuum.
Sorry, I'll ask again
Oh,
for a fourth
bloody
time.
hell,
Do
you don't understand what I'm saying.
Sorry to interrupt for a fourth time. Do you have this demonstration so maybe we can check on the Tor value of the vacuum used?
Why are you asking me? Why are you asking me again? I said already I don't have it, so.
Oh, you don't have it. Oh, well, let's not concern ourselves with some theoretical nonsense that you've come up to explain gas pressure without a container. We've asked for a demonstration of gas pressure without a container.
I know you're angry, but you can just.
Yeah, I'm not angry. Let's shut him up while this asshole talks over me before I get to the end of my point. We are not asking for your metaphysical theory about what you think might be a very easy experiment. Yeah? Number one, it's not an experiment. If it was, you'd have given me a hypothesis with an independent and a dependent variable. You wouldn't tell me it's a possibility that we could do this experiment. You'd show me the systematic experimentation that had been done to validate or invalidate your hypothesis. You're not providing me that either. So this definitely isn't science. This is some bullshit that you've come up with off the top of your head. So let's not worry about your bullshit, as you have no demonstration, let alone systematic experimentation to back a hypothesis. This is just bollocks. So I don't want to hear any more about your bollocks that you've made up. Okay, Larry, you don't have anything to demonstrate your assertion, so shut up about it.
I know you don't like when your model gets shit on, but
I haven't presented a model, idiot. Strawmanning idiot. I haven't presented a model, so don't strawman me. Just shut up. We don't want to hear any more of your Mystic Meg nonsense that you've made up about experiments that we could do in the future.
If you're going to
I
go
don't want to hear
like
it.
this, I'm just going to laugh over you.
Well, you're just talking over me. I'm telling you something and you're not listening to me.
And laughing too.
Well, you don't have to listen. I'm telling you, right? Eventually, I'll get sick of you and kick
I
you
don't
out.
have to listen either.
Well, I can just kick you out if you don't want to have a conversation like adults and you want to behave like a 5-year-old. When I talk, you can talk over me. Eventually, I'll get sick of you talking over me when I point out that you don't have any systematic experimentation to back this nonsense Mystic Meg crap that you have made up. So I'm not interested in hearing it anymore. If you continue to assert it, yeah, I'm going to tell you to shut up about it. That's what I'm doing. If you want to laugh about it, just sod off.
Go on
Well,
first.
that's cool.
So, we have established that this is Mystic Meg nonsense, having asked 4 times and you obfuscated 4 times, and then eventually you told us, no, you can't back
Well, I
any of this
actually
crap.
answered reasonably 4 times.
Yeah,
But you
I'll
just
ask
want to shout.
however I choose. If you continue to tell me how to behave, I'll kick you out. This is my show.
I answered
if
you
you
4
don't
times,
like
so
it,
why are
sod off to
you have
Erectile
some need-
Dysfunction 2.0 with your 6 members of the audience, rather than my 200 plus, where I have built an audience. You'll obey my rules, Larry. If you don't like it, you piss off. Simple.
Oh, that's fine.
So, Larry,
Yeah, it is
Larry,
fine.
you haven't
Good.
done
Glad
this
we
experiment.
finally understand. So don't assert your Mystic Meg nonsense. I've heard it enough of it. You don't have an experiment to demonstrate gas pressure without a container. That's what we want. You haven't got it.
I actually
Larry,
got
you
it.
want to
So
talk about something that can be done in my work. It could theoretically work, but you have nothing right now. You have nothing, bro.
No, but it wouldn't work.
Well,
It wouldn't
you have no
suck
proof
the
of flat
vacuum
earth
out of
either,
the
so-
like. It wouldn't create a vacuum in the room.
So
What you just
go away
explained
and do it, Larry.
would not
Go
do
away
it.
and do it. Go away and provide us this evidence that should be so easy. So if it's that easy, sod off and produce it then.
I know you want to shout, but you can just grow up, mate.
No, I'm telling you to go and get the actual evidence to back
I
your
know,
Mystic
I
Meg
know you want to
nonsense.
shout, but
Yeah, go and get the evidence to
that's
back
just
your
silly. You're
assertion.
being
Like
childish.
yesterday, the twice that you made assertions that you couldn't back. Yeah? And then I handed you your own ass. Remember? That was funny too, Larry. But it doesn't
if
change
you
the
want
fact
to
that you
be
keep
childish,
making
that's
assertions
fine, mate.
with no evidence to back them. Now I'm telling you to go and get that evidence. You told me it was easy. So go and get it if it's easy. Off your pop.
So
I have a
basically you
theory
want
on
me to
how
shout
human
me.
beings can levitate. I had a theory on how human beings can levitate. I got experiments involve unicorn farts compressed in gases. You can spray once a day in the eardrums, directly to your brain. I got the whole experiment in theory. Now, you might want to hear it. I don't want to hear no bullshit. I want to see the proof, the experimentation, everything done. You will just agree. You say, all right, tell me how it works. I don't want to give you a just so story. I don't want to give you an explanation. I want to see it, physically done. So that's what we are asking you to provide some evidence that it has been done, not a just so story, man.
Well, unicorn fart theory is actually like that. Sounds exactly what flat earthers are doing. So
Oh, really, asshole? Well, this guy from MIT says you can't have gas pressure next to a vacuum. And that's your worldview. So you want to make out that we're crayon munchers. We're not. Because you believe there's a vacuum of space next to gas pressure. You utter moron.
can you prove that assertion?
Yeah,
mate?
yeah, we can.
Yeah.
Well, then do it. Prove it.
No problem. I'll pop a balloon and it will disperse into the atmosphere by way of entropy. That's what happens. It's very easy to demonstrate.
That didn't actually prove not anything.
Oh, right. So why
Yeah,
didn't the
that's-
gas pressure in the balloon maintain its spherical shape once the removal of the balloon had taken place? Why is that? Why didn't we have a circle of gas pressure, Lowry? When I popped the balloon, why isn't the
Because
circle of gas
physics
pressure
actually
still there?
works.
Why
That's
isn't it
how.
still there, Lowry?
Physics actually works. Do you not know that?
Sorry, you're going to answer my question? I pop a balloon, yeah? It had a higher pressure than its surrounding environment. We're not talking the kind of differentials between the gas pressure we all know and love here on Earth and the 10 to the minus 17 torr that you claim is space. No, we're not talking about that. We're just talking about a little balloon that I put a little bit more pressure in than the atmospheric pressure we're in. So there's just a small, tiny difference. When I pop that balloon, why don't I still see a circle where the balloon skin was of gas pressure maintained? Why don't I see that?
What's wrong with the air that you're breathing?
This is a ham-handed segue away from my question, Alan. You're going to get kicked out again. So, Lowry, do I need to repeat my question because you've got a teammate trying to distract from it? Why don't I still see a ball of gas pressure when I pop the balloon, Lowry?
Because that's how physics works. Do you not
Yeah.
understand physics?
Yeah, so that's how physics works. So gas pressure disperses into a lower pressure, like a vacuum. Do I need to play you the guy from MIT explaining that when you've got a gas pressure and you've got a vacuum, the one goes into the other? Do I need to...
That doesn't actually debunk anything I have said, so...
it debunks space. Yeah? Hello? I'll tell you what I'll do, Larry. I'll have a good laugh at you. Because it debunks the assertion that 10 to the minus 17 torr is in existence next to a gas pressure. That's what it does, you idiot. It debunks space.
So what's the problem? What?
The problem is you've got an idea that up above us, next to the gas pressure, with no barrier whatsoever, you think you've got a vacuum out there. That's the problem.
So what's the problem there?
Yeah, I'll say it again, because you're clearly deaf and stupid. The problem is, I tell you what, I won't explain it to you. I'll get the guy from MIT to explain it to you again, so that you can understand it in words that are very simplistic. So here's the guy from MIT. He'll explain it to you. See if you can pay attention long enough.
Visit MIT OpenCourseWare at ocw.mit.edu.
All right, let's try another pretty simple process. Let's just take a gas in some volume, V, and over here is going to be vacuum of equal.
So what he's done is he's got gas. That would be this stuff. Like we're breathing. Gas pressure. Like on Earth. We definitely know this bit's in existence. Now this bit is what you religious muppets think is beyond this bit that we all definitely know exists. Now let's see what happens if that was true.
Volume, and we're going to remove the barrier. You know what's going to happen spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume once it...
So, MIT guys just explained it to you, Lowry. It was very simple. You take a gas pressure and you put it next to a vacuum, and the gas pressure disperses.
Where is the force?
It disperses, Larry.
Of gravity or magnetism that I'm asking for? Where is the force in that?
Sorry, ask the guy from MIT. Why are you asking me where the force is? You asked what the problem was, and I've said it 3 times, and then got a guy from MIT to tell you what the problem is.
It's not got a column of atmosphere above it, though, Nathan, has it?
Sorry, we have gas pressure, do we not?
Do we breathe gas pressure?
Yes, we breathe gas. It's at pressure.
No,
Yes,
don't.
we breathe
No,
gas
we
pressure.
don't.
That's another obfuscation. Number 2. Third one, and you get kicked out, Alan. We definitely have gas pressure then. This bit, we definitely have that then, Alan.
We don't breathe gas pressure.
I'll ask again. Do we have gas pressure here on Earth? This bit. The bit his hand's next to. Gas pressure. You're saying we don't have that? That's not something we experience, Alan. Obfuscate again.
Atmospheric pressure, Nathan. Nathan, it's called atmospheric pressure.
So gas pressure then?
No.
So it's not gas, and it's not at pressure.
Atmospheric pressure.
So it's gas pressure. Why are you obfuscating the point?
No, it's not.
Why
No,
are you
they're two
obfuscating
different
the point?
things. That's why they
We
call two different
definitely have...
things.
Right, I'm not going to put up with this, Alan. Goodbye. We definitely have gas pressure. That's what we're all breathing, as much as Alan thinks he's being clever by rephrasing it as atmospheric pressure to distract from the point. As everyone piles in, Lowry, you, not Rumpus, not Alan, your teammates, you. This guy's explained the problem. We have gas pressure. Your wanker mates aren't going to obfuscate that little point. We definitely have gas pressure here. Yeah? Call it atmospheric pressure if you like. I couldn't give a crap. It's a gas. It's at pressure. It is gas pressure. We have this bit, don't we, Larry?
Yes.
Excellent.
And if we
now, shut up. Now, that was just a
No,
single
no.
concession. You don't need to rumpus the shit out of me. It's not my point. My point will follow. Now, this bit, the vacuum, the bit none of us go to, is that bit also
Why do you
real?
need to shout over me?
Yeah, because I'm asking my question, and it's a 2-parter.
No. No. You don't get to do that, mate.
I get to do whatever the
I was
hell I like.
answering your point, and you don't want to listen. So that's
do we
just
have a
childish, not
vacuum?
being childish.
Is space a vacuum? This is a simple 2-part concession. Do we have gas pressure? Normal, reasonable, standard person? Yes, we do, Nathan. Is space a vacuum? Normal person who believes the Earth is a sphere with a vacuum of space? Is that the case? Yes, Nathan. Now, what do we have here? We have an asshole. That's
Like a
what we have.
madman here.
An asshole that doesn't shut up and concede very simple and obvious points. According to you, space is a vacuum. Yes, Nathan. Let's see if he agrees.
So actually have a force there, and we will get...
So we're not going to get a concession that space is a vacuum, which is what's being described by MIT guy on screen right now. That's not going to happen. It's a simple yes, but he won't give it me, because this is the demolition of his space religion. So, your space religion, this bit is space. 10 to the minus 17 torr. This bit is gas pressure, what we're all breathing. Yeah, that's right. What we're all breathing is pressurized gas. Correct. So this bit, according to MIT, can't exist next to this bit. It absolutely craps on your religion.
Exactly, it doesn't. So that's... that's what...
Hand wave dismissal. No, it doesn't. Ha ha ha. Right, Larry, Alex, say it again. Or maybe better if I get MIT guy to say it to you.
Once it becomes available, right? You know what's going to happen spontaneously, right? The gas is going to fill the available volume once it's...
So, spontaneously, the gas will fill the available volume.
But when you have a force, it will not. And you're not having a force. That example doesn't include a force. And we have a force like gravity.
He didn't mention it because it wasn't necessary to mention. If you have a gas next to a vacuum, it fills the available volume, as stated by the guy at MIT. Can you demonstrate that?
It's fine if
false?
you want to show that again.
Well, maybe you could demonstrate that it's false. I've given you an example of demonstrating it's true by popping a balloon, which you decided to rumpus for some reason, and not concede that the ball of gas doesn't stay there. And that's what MIT guy's saying, agreeing with me. You're saying hand wave dismissal, there could be a force. Well, show it. Show me this force maintaining gas pressure without a container. Show it me.
Well, that's easy. You can take an apple and drop it. That's gravity demonstrated.
Sorry, is
so
taking an apple and dropping it showing me gas pressure being maintained without a container? Are you deaf? Do you think dropping an apple demonstrates gas pressure being maintained without a container?
You didn't ask that, though.
Oh, rewind, my friend. This is live and recorded and will be rebroadcast after the end of the second show on my second channel. So people can listen to me specifically asking you for gas pressure being maintained without a container. That's what we're talking about.
That is not what you asked.
Oh, right. I asked for a demonstration of an apple falling from a tree, didn't I? My bad. Sorry. Please, can you demonstrate an apple falling from the tree? Because that's what I asked for. Oh, no, my bad. We were talking about the vacuum of space with a demonstration from MIT guy where he explains that you can't have gas pressure next to a vacuum. Now, you're saying you can. You're saying a force can do that. So show me.
You utter moron.
Oh,
if
now
you
I'm a moron.
want me to demonstrate something else, then ask it more clearly and ask what you want me to say.
Does it embarrass you?
It's not my problem if you're asking the wrong question.
Ah, bless him. Shall I fuzz your hair? Ah, you little sod. Oh,
I know you want to be condescending, but
you're going to start throwing your dummy out the pram and rumpusing. You're going to start talking over
everybody now. If you want to be
now.
childish,
Should we let him tucker himself out? Off you go, Larry. Have your little bit of verbal diarrhea.
I know
about
it's
how
fine.
forces
I
can
know
do
you
things
don't want to have a reasonable debate.
Off you go. Let's see if you can tucker yourself out.
That's fine. That's fine. You don't want to have an adult discussion. You're being silly.
Are you all tuckered out now? So according to MIT, space, a vacuum, can't exist next to the gas pressure that we all know and love. That's what MIT claim.
That's not actually what he said, so yeah.
Oh, okay. No problem at all, Larry. Let's have another listen to what he says.
MIT OpenCourseWare at ocw.mit.edu.
All right, let's try another pretty simple process. Let's just take a gas.
So we take a gas, like we've got here on Earth. Okay, I'm with him so far. We've got a gas. Yeah, we've got a gas too. I'm breathing it. Okay, I'm with you so far, MIT guy. We've got a gas. I've got a gas. We're all square. We're all good. Let's see what happens next.
In some volume?
Yeah, we've got gas in some volume. Yeah, I'm with him so far. Definitely got some volume of gas. Excellent, excellent.
V, and over here is going to be vacuum, V.
So over here is going to be a vacuum. Right. Like space. Okay, so we've got gas, and next to it we've got a vacuum. Pretty much exactly the circumstances of gas on Earth and vacuum of space. Of course, there's no barrier with Earth. It's an open system. But he's going to solve that right now.
Equal volume, and we're going to remove the barrier.
Oh, so no barrier, like the circumstances claimed by the religious zealotards. Okay.
The gas is going to fill the available volume once it...
Oh, so that's what he said. I wonder if Larry kept up that time with my narration. So he says, Larry, that if you have a gas in some volume, and then you have a vacuum, if you don't have a barrier, once the barrier's removed, the gas fills the available volume. So we don't have a barrier in your religion of a globe Earth.
But where is the force, though? Why didn't
he doesn't mention any force. You're just introducing this force. And when we get to asking you to show us the force maintaining gas pressure without a container, contrary to what the MIT guy says, you told me about dropping an apple. And now
you
you've gone
think you're
quiet.
smarter than the MIT guy, Larry? Then you talk about let me listen to him first, and you say where the MIT guy is wrong.
Well, he's not wrong. You're just using him
to
prove a point that he doesn't prove. Because the cases are not similar. The container is way different size, and we have a force called gravity, and he is not even addressing that.
Oh, so maybe you can show it me so I can address it. Show me gravity maintaining gas pressure.
That's silly.
Why are you interrupting? So show me it. Gravity maintaining gas pressure without a container. Show it me.
Well, can you show the Earth is flat?
Don't ask me what I can show. Okay? Listen, dickhead. Show me gravity maintaining gas pressure without a container. Show it me. That's your assertion. Contrary to the second law of thermodynamics. Show me that.
Well, we live on Earth and that already happened.
No, that would be an assertion of your religious belief, not a demonstration of gravity maintaining gas pressure without a container. You're now asserting the thing that this guy at MIT says isn't possible. That's your religious belief and our point.
It is impossible.
Don't assert your religious belief.
Say it is impossible.
Oh, he just babbles his religious belief indefinitely. Shut up, right? Stop talking. Don't give us your religious belief about what Earth is. That's the point of the show. So demonstrate gas pressure being maintained by way of this force you assert, gravity, without a container. Give us that demonstration.
This is just so funny.
Larry, if you want to invoke gravity, you gotta show me with the bending of space-time. I want to see this demonstration of the bending of space-time. That would be awesome to look at. Never been presented before. You could be the first.
Yeah, because
Really,
if you're gonna assert that an apple falling from a tree,
You're being completely illogical.
Lori,
That has
Lori.
nothing to do with
You're
bending of
invoking
space.
gravity. Gravity is the
Lori.
bending of space-time. Or Einstein said.
Well, if you want bending of space-time, how about gravitational lensing? Did you look into it? Of course not, because you're a silly flat
As
earther.
Larry completely ignores all contradictions, all objections, and any contrary points to his argument and moves on, I will say first and foremost a huge, massive, enormous thank you to all of the debating panel for making this debate possible, and of course a massive thank you to all of the live audience for tuning in and hopefully sharing this debate. If you hated the show, then smash the dislike button, then smash it again. But if you like the show, maybe consider sharing it with a friend or subscribing if you have not done so already. I've been Nathan Oakley, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!